Now, I guess this leads me to a very interesting question. Are these companies trying to build personalized strategic partners? Like, are they using these technologies to try create for themselves cutting edge AI? And is there this sort of nuclear arms race going on where like maybe big companies are trying to create the best AI? Maybe you're not allowed to talk about this stuff. If that's the case, just, I don't know, do some type of hand signal and we'll move on. But is this the kind of race where like people are sort of saying, I want the best AI, I want the one that has the most access to all the information, I want the one that's fastest? Or is there like a certain coding pattern that people need to use? Or is the generalized one that comes out of OpenAI just good? Like, is that just basically how everything's going to work? Like, what's going on there? Is there a neural network mutually assured destruction situation happening?
Well, so the smart companies and smart entrepreneurs are the ones who are not looking to train or to fine tune a model on the most amount of data. Is those who are picky and choosy about the data sets that they do use to fine tune and train large language models on, or AI on. Because what we're realizing, especially with the open source community doing a lot of the work on this, is that everyone is realizing that the advantage is not so much in the amount of data that you have, because you can, if you have a GPT that's trained on all the data, which ChatGPT is a very good general model, but that means that there's no real advantage to it because it's not specialized enough that it can be detailed enough.
Oh, interesting.
So what the smart companies are realizing is, well, we don't need to make our own big, huge ChatGPT. We just need a very specialized set of them. Maybe we have 3 or 4 specialized, fine-tuned large language models, which is what everyone's calling AI. Because what you'll get out of a specialized model is better than what you get out of a general model. So the race is not so much toward let's consume all the data in the world. It's more so what data do we fine tune it on so that we can get the outcomes that we're looking for. So you have to become more selective in the data that you feed it. Wow. So that you can get better outputs. Does that make sense?
100%. That's actually a very fascinating reframe, because it does, like, I obviously use this in for example, my videos and the art that we would make, and we would sometimes find that, like, in the very open ones, if you use Midjourney, it's very hard. Its specificity is the bane, it seems, of AI. It's very, very, the more specific you want a picture, the harder it is to get it correctly. But when we train on we take maybe the model out of a Stable Diffusion, and you train it on a specific character or specific scene, as you keep on making things with that, the specificity actually dramatically increases, which is very interesting. So it gets better. And so it won't be this thing where there'll be this like little god living inside these companies, but these companies will intelligently identify 5 key tasks, and they'll take the neural network, and then they'll train these neural networks on each of these tasks and have a very, very specific data set. And so it's the same principle of, like, clean data means clean output, so if you have really, really good data, that means the function is like garbage in, garbage out principle. And so these guys will actually sit down and say, all right, we only need this library of things that this is trained on, and this is going to help us make this more accurate. And then there'll be always talks about what is the right information to introduce here. That's very, very interesting. So
you can think of it this way: you want a cast of characters like the Avengers or the Guardians of the Galaxy or all the gods in Greek mythology and so on. They're all individualized and special. They have special functions and roles to play. This is the same thing. The AIs that you want that are going to be helpful and give you an unfair advantage are going to be the ones that are like the Avengers. You'll have an internal Avengers of your company, or, Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever cast of characters you imagine, because they're all unique and individuals, and they have certain roles that they perform, and they have parts of the plot that they act on. Same thing. You want a collection of large language models or bots that are like that. Does that make sense?